I would also like to acknowledge the beautiful trophies that were given to our magnificent champions. Were made by one of our stallholders. We would like to thank Kim Schoenberger. Please give her a mighty cheer. And now, my lords and my ladies, the time has come. It is a time for celebration, a time to retell the tales of this tournament, a time for joy. It is our grand finale. A king is never a king when a queen is around. Has been greatly honored, because among the traders, among the dancers, and among those men-at-arms, there has been a visit from the king. A king. The king comes to visit his people. I said the king comes to visit his people. All right, everybody, go here, kingy, kingy. A bit louder than that. Here, kingy, kingy. And everyone must bow to the king. Everyone in the crowd must show their respect to the king. All hail the king! Yet, there is one man who stands defiant. A scruffy-looking fellow in a green cloak. This man does not bow to the king. The king is already in a fairly unhappy mood because his beloved daughter has decided to ignore his wishes and not marry the man he chose. And this scruffy-looking fellow is not making the king's temper any better. The king gets angry. The young man in the cloak has shown what he thinks of this king by telling it to him not once, but twice. So, the king calls his guards. He says, "Guards!" And they come running. Running. And they arrest the man. It's just like an episode of Law and Order, isn't it? That is it. But, I said, a king is not a king when there's a queen around. Because the queen, she's been following proceedings, and she says to her lord, "Oi, you, leave him alone, you big brute, on that big white horse of yours with your long, luscious, L'Oreal glowing hair." It didn't happen overnight, but it did happen. Well, the queen says, "I don't think you should sentence this scruffy little fellow to death. Why don't we give him a fair trial?" The king said, "That's novel. Give anything go first time. Let's try this." So, rather than getting an argument with the queen, the next 6 nights sleeping by himself with his knights, he decides to give this man a trial. However, this is a trial by combat. Everyone in the crowd is supposed to go, "Ooh, really?" Let's try that again. This is a trial, but a trial by combat. The king will choose his best 5 men to fight whomever this scruffy wastrel can convince to get up and fight for him. Because the king thinks, well, these fellows, the only lonely man in the town. No one will want to fight for him. The king has chosen his 5 brave men. The scruffy knight, well, maybe I'm giving him too much credit here. This scruffy fellow reveals himself. And his men come running, because now it's all plain to see, and the crowd gasps with, "Oh, shock!" that this man is indeed the king of Azerbaijan, and he isn't running scared. He sends his men to fight these 5 picked men of King Longhair. So if you want the king's men to win, cheer, go king men! If you want the scruffy Lord, go Azerbaijan! King!
Azerbaijan's winning.
Azerbaijan! King! Azerbaijan! King! Azerbaijan! Oh, looks like Azerbaijan has won. Azerbaijan has won. They get to host next year's Eurovision Song Contest. Sorry, wrong show. Right. What's going to happen? The men from Azerbaijan look menacingly on the bright shinies, and those knights as well. The Queen comes forward and steps in between and says, "Hang on a moment, I'm the Queen round here. What I say goes." She says to her Lord King, "Who on you?" "Yes, who on you?" "Because you've been playing with those falcons again, you got poo on you." There you go. "I'm not impressed by you, but gee, I'm impressed by this fellow of Azerbaijan. I am going to say goodbye to you. I'm going off. I'm taking the castle and the Lord of Azerbaijan with me. Because, as you remember, it was Daddy who gave me the castle. And you, ta-ta, TTFN from the Queen." So, King Longhair is a homeless man. He will now be on the streets selling the big issue. And everyone in the crowd shows sympathy for our homeless king. They go, "Ah." They go, "Ah." Do we have to do what we did at the joust? All right, put your hand on the thigh of the person next to you and squeeze it. And go, "Ah." You're more excited once there. The king, however, has a bit of his army still loyal to him. He's got a brainstorm. First one for a while. He's got a battle plan. He's going to assault the castle with some magnificent archers. Right. Archers, where are you? Let's cheer the archers! Hooray for the archers! Must be Radio 4, I'm listening to the archers. And so, as archers do, they line up in ranks. It's because they don't wash, so they're fairly rank. And they let loose on the command of the king. As you heard the king say, "Loose!" And those arrows, my word, look at them. One arrow has gotten over. Not much else so far. Oh, 2. No. 3, 4. I think they've got a couple of people. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Who's cheering for the archers? Who's cheering cheering for the castle? Oh dear, my Lady Queen, I don't think you've been able to get them on side. Dear me, you might have to take over.
Whoa!
All
That
right,
went a long way up.
archers. My Lord King, has this worked? No, archers never bloody work, do they? Well, don't try it there, my lord. Well, the Queen decides from inside the castle that she's going to step things up a notch, take it to the next level. She's going to send out her secret weapon. Send out the secret weapon. That's a secret weapon. You can hear it coming a mile off. And your bells too. The Queen decides she will taunt the King with her jester. And he taunts the King thus, by showing him a part of the jester's anatomy that many people have seen before. Well, from here, of course, I can see it. The size of it, the size of the moon. The King is shocked. He's dismayed. He laughs. However, our scruffy lord, who of course has now been revealed as the King of Azerbaijan. I hope you're keeping up with this. I've got the script, I've got no bleeding idea. The scruffy lord has brought back from the Orient, which is where you'll find Azerbaijan, even though it's in Europe and Eurovision and all that. He's got gunpowder, and the crowd goes, dun 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 dun. The archers. The archers decide to run away! Run away. Right.
And check out the birds in the back.
Well, that was highly successful. Wasn't it? I'll just take that with me. Yeah, thank you. I must admire that the King's hand-picked men are lying down. Sir Ranulph of Chester over there from the company of Knights Bachelor, you're doing very well, my lord. You found yourself a sunny spot. Anyway. Well, you're not even a good-looking jester, but we won't go there. All right. So the jester decides it's time for a little more taunting. Taunt him with a, I don't know, a bit of derring-do. Yes, saunter and sing. Yes, that's very good. Lovely. Excellent. Well done. Are you taunted yet, Lord King? Well, the King decides he's had enough of this taunting. He's had enough of this comedy. He's had enough of the footy show. So he decides he's got his secret weapon. And of course it's about as secret as that stupid court jester. Everyone can see it, it's at the other end of the bloody field. It's an almighty cat. Well, the jester looks at that cannon and goes, ha! The jester goes, ha! Thank you. No, not lisping at me, listening.
Are you trying to get it on the blast?
So, the King has paid the cannon men. Everyone has a care. The jester, of course, is not running because he doesn't think it'll hit him. The jester was wrong. And a few of the hairy townsfolk decide they're going to pillage the jester. And he's going to be pillaged all night. Well, nothing much has happened, has it?
No.
There's been a bit of banging, there's been a bit of arrow fire, there's been a bit of taunting, but nothing has been resolved. So, the King and our Lord decide it's time to get personal. It's Rambo 3, this time it's personal. So,
Wow.
the King and our King of Azerbaijan with his new old queen decide to issue a challenge to each other. The crowd are amazed. They go, "Wow!" Very good. Peace, you're following. So the King of Azerbaijan tells King Longhair, "I'm going to fight you." And King Longhair says, "Oh yeah?" And he says from Azerbaijan, "Yeah." And the King of Longhair says, "Oh yeah?" And the King from Azerbaijan says, "Yeah." King Longhair says, "Oh yeah!" And King of Azerbaijan says, "Yeah." Well, apparently, one of the king's men has been fiddling with the cannon. And it goes off. And now the real looting begins. And so, my lords and my ladies, the moral of this tale is, well, if you can come up with a moral of the tale, would you mind putting it on Facebook, please, because we haven't got a clue. Thank you, my lords and my ladies. My lords and my ladies, this brings to a close the 22nd Abbey Medieval Tournament, Fair and Festival. I, as the Lord Herald, wish to offer my thanks to Michael Strong, Director of the Abbey Museum of Art and Archaeology, Edith Cuff, the CEO of this festival, Karas Bauer, the coordinator of the entertainment, Suzanne Voss, marketing and sponsorship. Without these people, I could not be here. I want you to issue them with 3 mighty cheers. Hip hip! Hip hip! Hip hip! Would you also thank my brother Harold, the Herald for Sweden, in his very first year, and I pray to God it is not his last, Master Michael Devereux! My lords and my ladies, I wish you Godspeed, and I pray that we will see you on this tournament field of Abbeystowe once again in July 2012. May God bless you and all who sail in you. If you are driving home tonight, please turn right onto Pumicestown Road, not left. And if you are driving home tonight, please make sure you've got a car. Godspeed to you all.
My lords and ladies, one final thing. 3 cheers for your Lord Herald, Sir Blur Martin of Abbeystowe, without whom this festival would not be what it is. Hip hip! Hip hip!